Hi everyone, it's Miss Dragonfly back again, here to bring you another segment on love and life as it really is. Now, this advice is specifically for women, but it can be applied to anyone. And that is the mistakes that women, and rather people that want marriage, keep making. Now, the first one is rather a silly one when you hear it, is that they don't actually understand what marriage is. Now, I know it sounds incredible when you think about how old marriage is and all that, and how familiar people and rather society is with it. But if you were to ask singles what they think it means nowadays, well, not many people actually know. And this is very important. For example, picture, say you've got a job opening. And unless you understand the position and what the position involves and what people need to do in that position and what's the requirements of someone in that position does, then you are not going to know what type of candidate that you need to get to fill that position. It's the same with marriage. Unless you know what marriage involves, you are not going to know what type of partner you need in marriage. That's because many people think that it's simply just spending time together with someone you love and you can have fun with. And that's usually the response you get when you ask people what marriage is. Yeah? Now, this couldn't be further from the truth, as it is really about a partnership in life and for life. And apart from the obvious that you need to get along well, to be able to survive and do well in life, you also need to have someone that has great life skills. Now, you may not have heard this saying, but it goes, if you're not handsome, make sure you're handy. Now, the second one is people that choose the wrong partner. Now, because you don't understand what the job your life partner has to do, you are of course then going to choose the wrong candidate for the job of being your life partner. You may choose someone flashy, good looking, or just funny, and you think that's a good choice, but they don't have much substance to them, like they might have poor life skills, and admit it. If there's someone that you have to clean up after all the time, and solve their problems while in reverse not getting any help from them when you need it, because either they can't or won't. They can't meaning they're too incompetent and don't have the skills, the necessary skills to help you, or ability. And then you are going to keep being disappointed in them as well as not respect them. And then of course you are going to think that you're too good for them and then leave if you're strong enough, or you're going to stay if you're not, and then be constantly miserable living with them. Now, the third one is trying to change their partner. For once they realize that their partner doesn't quite measure up, as they didn't choose well, then they try to change them so they can make your standard or become the partner that you really want. Now, this part never works out well, believe me. You cannot change people, as people can only be happy if they're able to be themselves. Or if you think you've managed to do the impossible and actually change them to how you want, then that change is not going to last, as your partner is going to revert back to their natural selves sooner rather than later. And why should someone change for you? Because that means that they're not good enough as they are. And if you think that then don't go there in the first place. Why not find someone that fits your requirements and doesn't need changing? Because then you would love and appreciate them for themselves, and it's nothing better than to be loved and appreciated for who you are. Okay, number 4 is competing with your partner. Now, this happens when people don't understand what marriage really is, and they compete with and try to show up their partner to prove that they have value and they are the stronger, better, and more dominant partner. In other words, they are the boss. If they understand that marriage is a partnership that involves both of you working together to achieve your joint goals, then you would be helping your partner rather than competing with them. I mean, life is hard enough. Don't make it harder by having to compete against your nearest and dearest. Rather, life would be easier with help from your nearest and dearest, wouldn't it? Relationships where partners compete with each other sooner or later break up before they get to marriage, as the partners never feel in their hearts of hearts that they can truly trust their partner, and they'll have to be on edge all the time in case they lose to them, and that's not a good feeling to have. And number 5 is where you think that it's your partner's job to make you happy, and unfortunately this is what a lot of women expect. They expect their partners to make them happy. Well, the reality is that your partner doesn't owe you anything. Why should they? Secondly, well, what does your partner get in return? What do you bring to your partner that entitles you to demand this from them? Everything has to be a give and take. For a lopsided relationship never lasts, as people eventually realize the relationship is a bad deal for them, as they are not getting as much out of it as they are putting in. I mean, if something was a bad deal, you wouldn't be sticking around, would you? So the relationship will break up before it gets to marriage, and even if it gets to marriage, it won't last. So those are my thoughts on the matter. What do you think? And what has been your experience when you are looking at a partner, especially with the goal of marriage in mind? Leave your comments below, and I would love to hear from you and read your comments. Well, that's all for this video. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. And until I see you in my next video, is bye for now.